All right, hello. I am George Lundgren. I'm going to be your TA today, and I'm going to teach you about Einsum and Tensordot, which are two very important things for deep learning, as they can kind of do pretty much anything you want them to do with tensors. So my goal, I just said it, is to teach you what a tensor is and how to do basic tensor operations by utilizing np.einsum and np.tensordot, or its equivalent in Torch TensorFlow JAX. So our learning targets are, what is a tensor? We're going to cover that. Then we're going to cover Einstein summation notation, which is a math convention, and then we're going to do Einsum, which directly follows from Einstein summation notation. Then we're going to cover Tensordot, then we're done. I'll give you a summary. You really should know matrix algebra before taking this course, number one, and before watching this video. So if you don't know that, you should go take a look at it. I'll leave it there. To master the content of this video, I recommend following along with the Jupyter notebook provided. I also recommend rereading the notebook if you have trouble following this recitation. And then make sure to practice with these tools. If you don't practice, you're not going to understand what I'm giving you, and you're not going to be able to synthesize it, and then when it comes to the homeworks, it's going to be hard. If you can write some scripts to practice the functions provided in this lecture, that would be great for you, and you'll understand this stuff better. Even maybe ask AI to generate you some practice problems using Einsum and Tensordot, and you'll be in an infinitely better place for tackling our first homework, and specifically our second homework, which relies on these operations quite a bit. All right, let's get started with what a tensor is. So I'll give you the definition. A tensor is an n-dimensional vector used for storing data and model parameters in deep learning. Common tensor implementations are the ND array from NumPy and the tensor from Torch. There's obviously equivalent implementations in JAX and TensorFlow. So a one-dimensional tensor is simply a vector. You can see here we have a column vector, and it is a 1D tensor. Now, this vector stores real numbers, complex numbers. It stores numbers. But if we move into 2D tensors, now we have a tensor that is storing tensors. We have a tensor that is storing 1D tensors. This is a matrix, and it's storing, like I said, 1D tensors. Now, if we jump up a dimension, we can think of having another vector that's storing a vector of vectors. So a vector that is storing matrices, that is storing real values. Now, if we keep jumping up dimensions, this nested structure becomes apparent. If we have a 4D tensor, we have a vector of 3D tensors. So a vector of matrices, and a matrix is just a vector of vectors. Now, we jump into 5D tensors, we have a matrix of 3D tensors. We jump into 6D tensors, we have a cube of 3D tensors, and so on and so forth. This is kind of how we organize all of our data in deep learning, as well as our model parameters, and anything that requires a large amount of numbers to be organized all in memory. So I want you to take a look at the common tensor conventions section in the notebook, as that will give you a better understanding for how tensors are usually organized in deep learning and some of the standard conventions that we'll be using in this class. Now we're going to take a look at Einstein summation notation. I'm going to give you some motivation. Einstein summation notation is a shorthand mathematical convention for simplifying the notation of tensor and matrix operations. It involves omitting some notation for matching axes in operations. We will look at an example to get a grip on the convention. So we're going to start with matrix multiplication. Now, I want to refresh your brain on matrix multiplication. So I have the definition of matrix multiplication right here. We have two matrices, A and B. They're matrices of real numbers. A is I by j dimensional, and B is j by k dimensional. Notice that they share a j dimension. So we can think of the matrix A as being I j-dimensional vectors, and we can think of the matrix B as being k j-dimensional vectors. Now, they're transposed from each other, so the I vectors are row vectors, and the j vectors are column vectors. So standard matrix multiplication is defined here. We have a matrix C, where the C sub I sub k element is defined as the sum over the j dimension of A sub I sub j and B sub j sub k. So we're essentially taking the first row vector in A and the first column vector in B, and we have this first column vector in B, and we're taking the dot product with the first tensor in the first vector in A, and then the second, the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and that gives you your new vector in C. Now, this summation is a little bit redundant, so we see that by omitting the summation, we can imply contraction over the jth dimension of A and B, creating a more concise convention for matrix multiplication. We see this defined as simple here. We see that the sum over the jth dimension is the same as A sub I sub j times B sub j sub k, where the contraction, this sum, is implied by the matching j dimensions. This implication and omission of summation is precisely the definition of the Einstein summation convention. All right, let us now consider the Einstein summation version of the dot product. We have two vectors A and B. They're both I-dimensional real valued vectors. The dot product is defined as the sum over the I dimension, the only dimension, of A sub I times B sub I. So this, in Einstein summation notation, is equivalent to A sub I times B sub I. This definition follows from a previous example because the sum over I is omitted in the final notation. All right, now we're going to look at Einsum. Einsum is a standard matrix library implementation of Einstein summation notation. Instead of just simply a notation, np.einsum and its equivalents provide a powerhouse of matrix operations. Let's take a look at the documentation. So we have np.einsum. The two major operands are the subscripts and the operands. So these are the two major arguments. You can read this, but we're going to just get into an example to explain it. So we have matrix multiplication. We have an I by j and j by k matrices. We want to multiply them using Einsum. We can do this either in explicit mode or implicit mode. If you take a look at explicit mode, you can see the subscripts here are essentially labeling the dimensions of the matrices, and then the operands are just the matrices themselves that we want to operate on. Now, if you think of the Einstein summation notation we just looked at, we have ij, jk goes to ik. This is saying that the j dimension is contracted, so we're left with k dimensional vectors. Okay? So this is the power of Einsum. It allows us to do these Einstein summation notation operations with simply giving the subscripts to these operations and then the vectors. If you look at implicit mode, it is exactly Einstein summation notation because there is no arrow going to the out dimensions. Again, I recommend writing this out, drawing this out, draw out matrix multiplication, see the contractions and whatnot, and that'll help you get a better grip on Einsum. I also have AI write you some practice examples, and that'll help get you up to speed with this convention. So now we're going to look at the dot product. The dot product is just, we have two one-dimensional vectors, one-dimensional tensors, the same thing, and we're contracting on the I dimension. So the I dimension is matching up, and we're going to no dimensions left, so we're contracting this to a single scalar value. Now we have the element-wise product. We have two matrices of the same dimensions, and we're essentially matching up each element and multiplying it by each element in the other matrix. Hence, we get ij comma ij goes to ij, so we're left with an ij dimensional matrix of product values. Now, the transpose is very simple. It's simply swapping the dimension with the Einsum subscript. So this is easy. This isn't directly Einstein summation notation, but it's just a convention that you can use in Einsum to swap dimensions. This is the equivalent of like a dot t or a dot permute. Now we do the outer product, which I will let you discover on your own. You should look this up if you don't know it. But essentially, it's the combination of all different products of all different values in two vectors. So we have a I-dimensional vector and a j-dimensional vector, and we're left with a matrix I, comma j, an I by j matrix, which is the combination of all different values in these vectors. And finally, the trace is the sum of the diagonal. So we're taking all I positions in a square matrix, or any other matrix actually, and summing them. So we're going again to no dimension in the end because we're getting a scalar value. All right, now let's talk about Tensordot. Tensordot is essentially a less flexible version of Einsum that is optimized for matrix multiplication-like operations. It is built specifically for element-wise multiplication and contraction. So we're going to look at the documentation again. We essentially take in our two matrices, two tensors that we want to operate on, and we give an axes argument. This can either be one dimension, or it can be a tuple of two arrays of dimensions. These dimensions have to have the same dimension. So you can't have a dimension of 2 and a dimension of 3 because they need to match up so you can take the dot product between them. We'll look again at matrix multiplication. So notice the axes is a tuple specification of the axes for element-wise multiplication and summation. Contraction. So we have a 2 by 3 matrix and a 3 by 2 matrix. And we're taking the first dimension of A, which is the innermost dimension, the dimension of 3, and the 0th dimension of B, which is also the 3 dimension, and we're contracting over those axes. So what it's doing is matrix multiplication. You're taking these same dimensional vectors, you're taking the first vector here, and you're dotting it with the first vector here and the second vector here, and that's giving you a 2-dimensional vector of dot values, and then you do the same with the second vector here and these two vectors here. Again, go over matrix multiplication if you don't know it. Look it up. There's plenty of resources to figure it out. This is just something that helps you compute matrix multiplication in a tensor environment. Now we'll cover the dot product. So the dot product, again, we have two one-dimensional vectors, one-dimensional tensors, and we just sum over the 0th axis. So what this is doing is it's saying, okay, we only have one dimension, it's the 0th dimension, we're matching them up, multiplying, and contracting down to one scalar value. Okay, now we have the multi-dimensional dot product. The multi-dimensional product is essentially a extension of matrix multiplication and the dot product. So you see, if we have inner dimensions that are all the same dimension, we can specify that we take in matrix A and matrix B, and we contract over the last 2 dimensions. So we can think of this as a vector of matrices, and for each matrix in the vector, we're combining them together, contracting them by doing element-wise multiplication and summation, and we're being left with a 3 by 3 matrix of all of these values. So we're taking combinations of all of these values. So we take the first matrix in B, and we do this element-wise multiplication and contraction with all of the matrices in A, and that gives us a 3-dimensional vector. And then we do that again for the next matrix, and then again for the next matrix, which gives us a 3 by 3 grid of all of these matrix-wise products and contractions. This is especially helpful for convolution, and you will definitely see this in your second homework. So I recommend asking AI to give you some practice problems with this, really looking at this, drawing it out, and trying to really understand exactly what's going on here. All right, I'm going to give you a summary. A tensor is essentially the fundamental unit of data and parameter storage in deep learning. Einstein summation notation is a mathematical convention used for simplifying element-wise multiplication and contraction tensor operations. Einsum is the matrix library standard for implementing Einstein summation notation and other operations that are helpful for deep learning. And Tensordot is a more specific version of Einsum used specifically for tensor contractions, which is matrix multiplication, Tensordot, and n-dimensional matrix multiplication. All right, feel free to shoot me an email or a Piazza post. My email is right here. In the live stream for this lesson, I will try to draw out some of these some of these operations to give you guys a better understanding of what's happening. And if you want, come to office hours, I can draw these out. We can go over. I've spent a lot of time thinking about these things because I didn't really understand them at first. So just let me know if you need help, and I will be here for you guys.